let's talk about Isaac Okoro, or as I called him on Twitter, Isaac O'Curry, because the man went 3 of 5 from 3-point today, shot 60% from 3-point, 4 of 8 from the field, was aggressive and was confident. When he's aggressive and confident, he's a much better basketball player. He's usable on the offensive end. He's a good defender, a great defender on that side. He can cause some turnovers and really force teams into some bad positions without getting into foul trouble. And he's a plus offensive. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Cavs. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what we needed. That's what the Cavs needed. That's what everybody needed. Look, man, the Cavs been struggling so much down the stretch and in little, small, annoying little bursts here and there that they just needed to do the old-fashioned and beat somebody's ass, right? And just beat it ruthlessly, toothlessly, until there was nothing left but blood, pulp, and gas. And that's what they did to the Miami Heat. They beat the Heat ass. That's what happened. It was a ass whooping. Now, let's be fair here. The Cavs did not have Kevin Love, sure. The Heat were without everybody. They didn't have Jimmy Butler. They didn't have a bunch of dudes. Just tons of injuries. Let me pull up the Heat's injury report before we get too carried away with this, right? But yeah, the Miami Heat were definitely missing players. That's no doubt about that. And I'm not going to ignore that and act like we beat the healthy Miami Heat that was in the Eastern Conference last year. That's not the case. But it's still an NBA team, and you still beat their ass, and that's what I'm talking about. Let's see what the injuries are for them. No Gabe Vincent, no Victor Oladipo, no Jimmy Butler, no Tyler Hero. They're losing a lot of guys. They don't have a lot of guys healthy right now. So, keep that in mind while we talk about this, but still, it's just nice to see the Cavs do what they're supposed to do, right? Not just beat somebody, but beat somebody down, and not just beat somebody down, but maintain that lead throughout 4 quarters, because that's been an issue. At no point once the Cavs went up 20 was that 20 points in doubt. At no point. The only time where the Heat outscored the Cavs was in the 4th quarter. The game was decided by then. So yeah, the Heat got 1, 2, 3, 5 points up on the Cavs in that quarter, but the Cavs clearly dominated the 2nd and 3rd quarter of this game. And again, that's what I'm talking about, right? Dominate on the boards, 49 rebounds to the Miami's 30. Dominate on the offensive glass, 11 Miami offensive rebounds. Cavs had 13. And then just they shot well, 30. Well, they didn't really even shoot well. 35 is pretty average. But Miami, they forced Miami to make 19%, which is important, right? Because Miami and all of these teams have been just smacking you with 3 after 3 after 3. Finally, somebody either went cold or we defended it better. Let me talk about some players that really stood out. Well, let's talk about the stars real quick. Not like a big star day. Like, we didn't need much from the stars, right? Evan Mobley had you a smooth, 15, 5, and 10. It's pretty average Evan Mobley night. Jared Allen only really got you, 8 and 6. Fine with that. Darius Garland had you, 25 off of 7 shots, dog? Damn. That Darius is really good. There's a lot of people who said a lot of dumb shit about Darius Garland a couple weeks ago that are wishing they wouldn't have said it. Donovan Mitchell didn't even need to really do anything today. He didn't have a great night, only 13 points, but it was plus 15. Well, it's hard to be in the minus in this one. Lamar Stevens gave you 11 points, 5 of 6 from the field, so decent efficiency, made a 3-pointer, 4 rebounds as well. I thought he contributed well. And then Jetty's really the story. Jetty and Isaac. Let's talk about Jetty and Isaac, because Jetty was cooking today. 37 minutes, 8 of 17 from the floor, 4 of 11 from 3-point. I mean, that's Jetty doing Jetty things. But 20 and 12, yeah, he had 20 and 12 today, which is pretty good for him. He had a big game. Look, with Kevin Love out, we needed Jetty to have a big game in order to get some of that bench scoring. And overall, this was a nice day for the bench. I mean, the bench finally scored, right? Yesterday, I think the bench put 13 points up total. Today, 33 from two guys, almost 40 points from the entire bench. Much, much better, especially with the Cavs. I believe they're going into a home back-to-back with the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow, right? Yeah, so they play the Hawks tomorrow, so that's very important that they got this win, and not just got this win out of the way early so they can have fresh legs versus a very good Hawks team. Cavs advance to 10-6, and this is more like it. I like the rotations tonight. I like how they use Lamar Stevens. And let's talk about Isaac Okoro, or as I called him on Twitter, Isaac O'Curry, because the man went 3 of 5 from 3-point today, shot 60% from 3-point, 4 of 8 from the field, was aggressive and was confident. When he's aggressive and confident, he's a much better basketball player. He's usable on the offensive end. He's a good defender, a great defender on that side. He can cause some turnovers and really force teams into some bad positions without getting into foul trouble. And he's a plus offensively. This is, by the way, Karis LeVert had 0 points. He didn't really play that much, though. He only played 14 minutes, so that's fine. But Isaac, this is what you want from Isaac. This is what you want from Isaac, right? This is what we want from him, is be confident with the minutes you get and be aggressive in those opportunities, right? Don't settle for bad jumpers. You know that you're a beast. You can get inside and you can slam it on transition. Do it, right? Too many times this year, he's been scared to do something, scared to make a mistake. It's nice to see him. And he played, 29 minutes today. And again, I say this, he's more comfortable when he plays more minutes. What Isaac has to find a way to do is, hey, give me that 12 or give me that 13 and 4 that you gave us today, but give us that in 15 minutes instead of 30. Right? That's what Isaac's next step is. How can I get this level of production for this team in 15 to 20 minutes instead of 30? How can I do this without starter minutes, right? Can I take advantage of this without starter minutes? That's the big thing. That's what you need to do. I felt like Evan played great and Jared played great, just keeping their bigs off the glass. Bam, he only had 6 rebounds in this game. I don't think a single Miami Heat player had over 10. So great job keeping people off the glass and getting the ball back. So that's tremendous there. And a lot of the issues that plagued the Cavs just didn't happen today. Kevin Love's day-to-day, but they're getting healthier, right? They're figuring it out. Karis's role is changed. That's good. Isaac's role has changed. That's good. We got to make sure Isaac can grow into it and figure that out. And that's going to be a challenge for JB Bickerstaff is, hey, how do I teach this kid who was the number 5 overall pick 2 years ago to be a 15 to 20 minute a night bench player? How do I teach a kid? Like, how do you transition a player into that? A lot of guys do it, right? You look at old drafts and you see like a dude like Enes Kanter was like the 5th pick in the draft. Crazy. We don't think Enes Kanter is the 5th pick in anything anymore. But he was the 5th pick in the draft. He had to find a way to be useful to an NBA team, or else you become Hasheem Thabeet, who just didn't play that much after it became obvious he wasn't a top level player, right? So for a lot of draft picks, this happens to them where they go from being top 5 guys and having all the potential in the world to, hey, you got to figure out your role now, right? And either you're going to be a great role player, a good role player, or a dude on the G League roster. I hope Isaac figures that out. Today was a positive step. Played very well in his minutes. I felt like he was reasonably efficient. Need to be better than 4 from 8, right? I don't think to get the 13 points, I don't think he should require too many shots. He just needs to be a little bit more aggressive, pick and choose his spots, be ready to shoot those catch and shoot threes. And part of this is just progression to the mean, where he was shooting like 7% before this game. He's going to make more threes as the season goes on, and he's going to get back to 30%, right? And that's going to involve him having some crazy games to get back to 30%. But he's going to get back to 30%. But it was still really nice to see Isaac do this. Jetty, we know Jetty, man. We know not to get too excited about a good Jetty game or too upset about a bad one. We know Jetty gonna do Jetty things, which is, hey, sometimes Jetty cooking, sometimes he not. And even when he cooking, he gonna take too many shots. That's just the Jetty experience. Same thing with Karis LeVert, who got the quick hook today. He didn't really play that much. Played some good defense, though. And it's nice when you can win a game by 30 and the only starter that plays more, and none of your starters actually play more than 30 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. That's what the Cavs need. That's something that this felt like a breath of fresh air for this team. Now they are 10-6. Now they fully, right, after a weird win the day before, now it feels like they fully got that weirdness that was that 5-game losing streak off their back, and they're ready to continue on a more positive track for the rest of the year. Now, again, Miami's not a great team, and they had injuries. Well, Miami has injuries, even though they're a good team. They had a lot of injuries. And Charlotte had a lot of injuries. So you didn't play a healthy team yet. Tomorrow you'll play Trae Young at the very least, and I think DeJounte Murray's going to play as well for the Atlanta Hawks. It's going to be a different battle, right? It's going to be a different type of battle. It's going to be more difficult to win that game, and you're going to need more out of your starters. But you needed this one too. You got it. That's what I'm talking about, Cavs. That's a good win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night.